Hi, this
Woohoo.
is Forbidden with another reality user interview, and today I have Ren Loves BL. Ren, everybody, Ren!
Hi, everybody. Hello. How are you? This is me, Ren,
Alright,
to do this
so
interview. So we're here.
I have convinced Ren that I needed her to come, and she was kind enough to give me some of her time. So, Ren, who are you on reality?
Everyone knows me as Ren, or like the full screen name is Ren Loves BL. The
Mhm.
screen name kind of speaks for itself. I am Ren and I love BL. I am a I'm more like a casual, I'm a chit chat type of streamer. That's how a lot
Mhm.
of people actually got to know me. That's how a lot of people come to my streams, just for my chit chats, my rants, what I talk about. I do avatar ratings. I'm known for that as well.
Mhm. Mhm.
I've done avatar backstories as well. I've done games as well. So, but yeah, I'm an all around, more of like a chit chat type of streamer.
Overall chit
That's me
chat.
on reality.
Okay. Okay, okay. So Ren, I also know, fun fact about Ren, she's like always in the top 10 of the international servers, like most gifted list. Um, I'm just saying, you know,
Oh my
Ren
gosh.
may love BL, but people love Ren.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, the thing is when anytime I get notified about that, it's not ever like something I plan for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thankful. I'm thankful. I'm really humbled by it, to be honest. I'm like, okay, they started this whole thing this year. I was like, okay, I don't know about this coming month because points have been kind of dry,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
like I do the best I can with the events, and I end up there somehow. So
Just somehow,
somehow I'm
Ren
up
just
there.
magically appears. Um,
Yes.
so Ren, do you consider yourself a VTuber?
I consider myself a streamer on reality,
Okay.
but I don't consider myself a VTuber. Um, Reason being is I don't have any rights to this character. Like the
Mm-hmm.
gotcha that I get, I'm basically renting clothes from reality. So
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
not mine per se. Like I can't make money off of it. Therefore,
Mm-hmm.
I would just say I'm a streamer on reality, though. I
Okay.
am.
Okay. So I do know you're able to use reality models on like Twitch and YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and things like that, and you can have monetized channels.
Okay.
So would
Okay.
that affect how you maybe would expand outside of like the reality platform? Like, well, one, are you interested in expanding out?
I am. I am.
Okay.
Not I guess because Twitch, I feel like I need to do more research as far as
Mm-hmm.
that is concerned. I've heard a lot of people wanting to make that transition, but it is, from what I hear, it is hard to hack it
Mm-hmm.
on
Mm-hmm.
Twitch. I've seen a lot of people say they're going to go and then they end up coming back. For me, it probably would be YouTube.
Okay.
Um, if I do go on YouTube, it would be semi different content. It would be more like ASMR.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't even know if Ren would be my persona, but if I did
Okay.
go, I think Ren would. I mean, I would probably link like, "Hey, I'm also Ren from
From
reality,"
reality.
maybe. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yes, but I would. It would be something different if I were to get a character created. At least I can call it mine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mine to claim. As far as character design, though, I don't know what I would go for yet. Though I
Okay.
don't
Okay.
know. Hmm.
So you had mentioned that Ren is a persona. Okay.
Hmm.
So how much how much of your personal culture makes up Ren Loves BL?
90%.
90%. Okay. Okay.
Hmm. About 90%, yes. So I am a person, like the thing is what people fail to realize on reality, right? Is that
Mm-hmm.
yes, we have these avatars, this is what you see, but I am still a person behind this avatar. Like I
Mm-hmm.
don't sit there and say, like people may see me as like they know me as Ren, the siren.
Mm-hmm.
but like that's not how I like that's not how I live my life. Like I have different avatars that people do see. Like that's just not me. Like that is not me. I don't walk around like, yes, I am a mermaid with wings that looks beautiful in green skin. But you know, like that is not me. I'm very multifaceted. Like I have, my conversations, I'm a thinker. I like to think about thinking. I like to get to the nitty-gritty of things. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
writer. I'm an author. Like a lot of things just come to mind. And it's just this is more like, yeah, this is a costume. Like
Mm-hmm.
let's just say when I do stream, it's not like it's not me. It really is me. It's just in different character
Yeah,
form.
it's like if you
That's
went
it.
to like a
Yeah.
costume party, or if like you're an actor
Yeah.
on the stage, you're just wearing the
Yeah.
character, but you're still
I
inside the
am.
character.
Yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned that you're an author. Um, so this is going to be like a two-part because technically, like an author is a creator, right? But have you engaged in any sort of social media content creation, like before reality?
Um, Before reality, yes and no.
Okay.
To to be quite honest, as far I'm very much a private person. I
Mm-hmm.
realize like
Mm-hmm.
even on when it comes to social media as well, I'm just like there's a lot of me that I want to keep to myself
Mm-hmm.
for good
Mm-hmm.
reason, right? I'm not necessarily one that says, "Hey, I want all of me out there on the internet." That's just to kind of help keep me sane
Mm-hmm.
um, in this world. But like, I have used social media. I did have a personal account at one point. I hacked that because I was like, "There's not."
I've been
I
there,
was
done
like, well,
that.
what are people
The
really
big
gonna?
erase.
Yeah, some people are gonna like, right? The big array. I felt I had to do that because I looked at social media for me, and I'm like, oh, it's just like anything else. Like, what are people gonna get from that
Mm-hmm.
besides it being like a video diary of myself? I have photos. I have a bunch of photos that I've
Mm-hmm.
separated and stuff like that and categorized. I'm like, this, I don't want this on the internet. I mean, I see it,
Mm-hmm.
I saw it, and I was like, I gotta delete and re-delete, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just as far as social media is concerned, like as far as work and stuff like that, yes,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of that that's done. Um,
Yep, yep, yep. Someone does it for
um,
you.
but it's done to help. Right, they do it for to help promote work. But like as
Mm-hmm.
far as personal, I'm just like I'm still one of those IRL where I'm like I want to be close, but I still want 6 feet away as well. Like
Yeah.
I like my space.
Give me
So
my panini bubble back, please. The panini may be done, but I
for
liked the
sure.
distance between everybody.
Exactly.
Um, so how do you think being an author has helped you develop who you are on reality?
Communication wise, like it's funny because every time I will stream, I'll always get similar comments. They're like, Ren, you sound like a teacher. You sound like you sound really well educated. You sound like you know how to put sentences together. I was like, I would think so for the things that I do
I would
freelance and the
hope
things that I
so.
do for work. I would think so. I would hope so, right? Or like typos like I it really bothers me when there are typos. Like I'll if it's in my box or in my title, I'm like, how
Mm-hmm.
embarrassing. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
how embarrassing. So it's stuff like that. Being able to communicate this app is about communication, right? So I'm thankful that I am able to communicate like I am and able to connect with people because I tell people streaming being a majority solo streamer that I am, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I'm not alone. Like some people are scared to stream on their own. And I'm like, well, should you really be a streamer if you're scared to do it on
If
your
you,
own?
yeah.
Because realistically, it's like I'm having a conversation with people. It's just that I'm connecting with multiple people in the chat,
Mm-hmm.
not just one.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's kind of helped me because I could see through it all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I can sense tude in the chat, and I can sense when people are being,
Not
yeah,
the
when
dude.
people are trying to make a joke. I can sense the tude. I can sense everything in the chat. I can sense attitude. I can sense when people are trying to be funny. So it's just like I think me being able to discern between that has helped me a
Mm-hmm.
lot. Because of course when it comes to writing, reading is very important as well, right? So
Mm-hmm.
me reading and
Mm-hmm.
understanding what people are trying to say in the comments means a lot. So I think that's helped me a lot as far as communication is concerned. This is a very like VTubing light, should I say, as
Yeah.
far as app is concerned. So I feel like
Especially
that's
on the North
helped me a
American
lot.
international. This is very light. Once
Absolutely.
you get into the Japanese, though, the Japanese server is very professional when it comes to VTubing. There's a lot of agencies in there, and there's a lot more money being put down on the Japanese server, in
So I've heard.
donations.
I've seen their scores. I've
Oh
seen their
yeah.
scores. It makes sense. It makes total sense. Absolutely. Hmm.
But yeah, no, I understand what you're coming from with like the VTubing night. And I like this the fact that you're like, I am mainly a solo streamer and like you're encouraging people like they don't have to be collaborators because I feel like a lot of people on reality feel like they have to collaborate. They have to have their stream open to other people coming in. When again on the Japanese server, collaboration is very not common as in the actual
It's not.
VTubing streaming area. Like, yeah, collabs might happen on
That's right.
occasion, but that's not their main content for every day.
Right. Exactly.
Um,
I do tell people that. I'm just like, if you do see yourself as wanting to be a streamer, you have to be able to not only if you can't entertain yourself, you can't entertain the people that are going to come see you.
mm-hmm.
Um, do you know what I mean? So it's one of those, it will take practice. I always tell people too, like, they're like, hey, I'm scared to stream. I'm like, try it out. If you get one person to view you, that's how I started. I was like, if one
Yep.
person
It's
comes to
one
see me,
person at
I'm
a
doing
time.
something. Yep, one
Mm-hmm.
person. You get to know that one person, and that person will come see you over and
And
over and over.
over and over. And
You
then
know,
they'll tell other people, like, hey, so I gotta go, so and so streaming. And then they follow them. And that's how it really
yes,
snowballs. Um,
yes, exactly.
so with the eventual, maybe YouTube ASMR channel, do you think your streaming on reality is going to help you become a content creator on a different platform?
I think it has. Reality, one of the positive things I would say about reality, or what's kind of caused me to do, is it helped me go outside of my comfort zone.
Mm,
Um, I would always say, sure, I'd want to do that, but I'm a little nervous, so I'd stick behind, paper and books and stuff like that. Because, when it comes to social media, there's positives and there's a lot of negatives out there too. Um, but I do feel like, hey, I do have the confidence now, I would say, to do a channel versus if I didn't have the experience streaming here before. I'm like, well, it took me going outside my comfort zone to say, hey, I'm not just going to be someone that just watches streams. I'm going to try it, you know,
mm,
and
mm.
that I think that's going to help me once I do fully transition to YouTube eventually. So it has
Okay.
helped me a lot.
Okay.
For sure.
No, that's again really great feedback to like hear and like insightful thought on the move because a lot of people don't think the move through. They just kind of jump in and they do it. And they don't
Hmm.
look at everything that it takes to make a YouTube channel. They don't look at how what it takes to like make a Twitch or a Twitter or something that makes people want to engage with them on other platforms. Um,
Yes.
but with this potential move, a lot of the American users use Discord. They have community Discords. Do you have one?
I don't. I don't. People have asked. They're like, "Where's Ren's Discord?" I'm like, "That's another thing I'm not getting paid for. I'm sorry. I have other things I get
So
paid
much
for."
free labor. So much free
I know. I
labor.
know. So much free labor and so much free time. I feel like I think I there's only so much time in
Mm-hmm,
a
mm-hmm.
day, and I don't think I could devote my time to starting and maintaining a Discord server. Like if I were to do it, I would have to baby it as much as I am babying streaming on reality, I would think,
Mm-hmm,
because
mm-hmm.
the problem with what I'm seeing on some servers is like there's this hype to starting a server, but
And
there's
then they're
not really much
dead.
that goes on there. They're dead,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
Yeah,
And
that's
we see that too too, sometimes people like when you mention the transition, some people just do it, but without fully thinking what it's going to take to do it, and they realize,
Mm-hmm.
hey, maybe I'm just better off on reality because you know, I didn't think all the way like to the big picture of what's going to happen. You
Mm-hmm.
weren't taking the baby steps to get there. So yeah, so I'm still holding off on doing it. I don't think I would have. I don't have it in me right now to do this. I have a lot going on.
Yeah, no, I feel the same because people have asked me about the community server because I do have like an event Discord, and I'm like, yeah, no, you're not getting one of those out of me anytime soon unless I have people who want to take care of that for me. Uh, no, because it's so easy for the Discord server to become dead, and it's like I am a regular streamer. Like I have a set stream time of like I'm on at this time every day, or within at least within the window. So that's my next question. Do you have a stream schedule?
I don't actually. I don't have a stream schedule, but I do stream daily.
Okay.
The reason why I probably don't have one is because I don't want it to feel like a job.
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
feel like if I start setting times, I feel like it's a job and then it's not going to be fun for me anymore. So usually during the week I do at least like probably Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday when we go hard on like the beginning of events. I probably
Mm-hmm.
do stream between 2 to 3 times a day, at least two
Okay.
usually.
Okay.
But as it dissipates throughout the week, it's probably more like, as far as the weekend, it's probably more like one. It's just now because everyone is who is being ranked or trying to rank up needs to still
The
stream,
rank
right? Even if
system.
there's no event.
The rank system.
Yeah,
It hurts.
to rank up, it does hurt, right? And I'm like, a lot of us are still a bit confused because as far as the criteria is concerned, we still don't know. I just know that thankfully I am ranking up, but at the same
Mm-hmm.
time
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more competition with whoever is in your same server and the amount of points that they're collecting, and it kind of
Mm-hmm.
puts you in that scale. I don't know,
Yeah, no,
but I have noticed, I think.
it's math.
Mhm, go ahead.
I have
Mhm.
broken down the math of how the rank system works,
Oh,
and it is
mhm,
complicated on how to do
it
it.
is.
Um, Much more so than it used to be, because before you could just receive like one cake in a week and you would be able to maintain your rank. That is no longer the
Yeah,
case. It is, I understand
yeah.
from the aspect of like, it is going to be encouraging people to maintain streaming daily. It is more of a maintenance
Yes,
of making people have to stream if they want to successfully rank up, unless they are someone
yeah,
who receives +6 for the 3 days, the first 3 days.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah,
but it is, you're competing against people that are in your server, that are streaming at the same time, and the calibration of the gifts that you're receiving. So if you're
yeah.
but that's also why you see the bar sometimes go down, is because yeah, I might be at +6 when no one else is streaming, but as more people get on and they start streaming throughout the day, there's a bigger like XP exponent that you have to
Yes.
reach now because more people are getting gifts. And so then if they've exceeded your amount, then obviously you're no longer 6, you're maybe at 2 now. Um,
Mm.
so yes,
I
it
think luckily the lowest I think I gotten, I think may have been a 4, I guess. But I'm just
okay.
like, like I think the 4 might have been like the lowest in a day or so.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, and I noticed that with usually probably in the beginning of like there's being a big event, like there's a sticker or a t-shirt going on.
Mm-hmm.
But like
Mm-hmm.
today I seem to clutch the 6. But at the same
Ayo.
time, I'm like, also with the time, I'm just like, well, I streamed only 2 hours.
Okay.
But other days I may stream for that amount, and then I'm like, well, how? I don't know. I'm not complaining. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
keeping up somehow, right? So
Yeah,
if
like
I'm
as
ranking
long
up,
as I
I
get my
think it's
rank up, I'm
it's
fine.
good. Yes, exactly. So now I'm having to say, not just the event, but like help me rank up to rank A.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the
Mm-hmm.
goal. We're trying to rank up there if possible. We'll try.
We'll get there. Slowly but surely we'll get
Yes,
there.
for sure.
um but yeah, that is another question that I had, is like you do the background events almost every week. And I know you've done the t-shirt event. You did one big event. Um do you ever plan on trying to do any of the larger events, or are you going to stick kind of to the backgrounds?
Um, as far as this a sticker event, I don't see that in my foreseeable future. I actually am still kind of intimidated to do that. When I've
Okay.
actually seen um, the amount of time that it takes to get in the top three of such a
Mm-hmm.
heated
Mm-hmm.
event, this is why I stick to the background events. I think maybe if there was something new, like
Okay.
something new that were to go on, maybe something that I may really, really want. I don't know what that event will be yet, but we'll
Mm-hmm.
see. Um, if it's a possibility, then yes. It's just I would need to it all has to do with maybe timing as well too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you
Mm-hmm.
have all these big events going on at the same time, it's just like the amount of help to go around.
Yeah, yeah.
I
People get
feel
spread.
bad
Yeah,
ultimately.
yeah. Same. I,
Yes.
I feel bad. I'm like, I feel bad
Yeah.
about my background event because you are helping people with bigger events, but I would still love some help. Well, um. So going back to you saying it not want you're not wanting it to feel like a job because you have a job. Um. How long do you stream a day? Like, how much do you dedicate to your streaming?
Okay. So I would say on average about 2 hours
Mm.
per stream.
Okay.
Average, I would say a good at least the 2 hours. On maybe Mondays, probably more
Mm-hmm.
or less on the 4 hour range. Per stream.
Per stream.
No,
Okay, and
not
you're
per
doing
stream.
about two.
Total. No,
Two. Okay. Okay.
yeah,
So 4 hours.
Yeah, two streams.
So two and
Yeah, four
two.
hours total. So it's like
Okay.
exactly. Yeah. Um, those are the ones like I usually try and see if we can. My strategy usually with the background events is I've been trying to clutch them hopefully within a day or a day and a half, so the
Okay.
rest of the week is Gucci.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
like that's kind of been my strategy. I go hard if I can on a Monday, and then I'd map out the rest of the week, and I'm like, okay, cool, 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 cool.
Okay.
We're Gucci. Like I can relax. So that's what I've actually been doing.
Oh no, I like that though. I like the fact that you're. I mean, I appreciate that you're very open about like your strategy of like, all right, I'm gonna hit hard at the beginning because I know quite a few people hit hard at the end. Like that's when
Mm,
they're like
yeah.
really try to push the raising the donations because they're like, well, I now don't have time to just like gradually gain it. So I like the fact that like you really have thought about like, all right, I'm just going to do what I gotta do at the beginning, and then I can relax and we can just all ride through the rest of the week. Um.
Yeah. Because on the weekends is usually the ones where I don't stream as often. Like I
Mhm.
don't
Mhm.
stream much on a Saturday or Sunday. So I'm like, I might as well get it done during the week. Go hard the best I can, like first two streams if I can. If I
Mhm.
clutch it
Mhm.
within the first day, then I'm good. Like I could just I'm not having to do my lunchtime streams anymore. I can actually catch up on my
Lunchtime
sleep
streams.
because I don't get
No.
any sleep.
Oh, no sleep, gang. We don't know
Yeah, for sure.
sleep. Um.
We don't know
So
sleep.
Ren, what advice do you have for people who are just starting streaming?
Advice that I'd say, I would say stream daily.
Okay.
Um, Even if you're scared to stream, your first stream might be your scariest if you've never done one. We've all been there. Once you
Mm-hmm.
get the 15 minutes out the way, eh, you're an expert at that point. So try and stream daily so that way you can get your daily badge. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you engage with the people that come see you. It could be a whole three people that come see you, but those same three people will see you over and over if you engage with them. So
Mm-hmm.
make
Mm-hmm.
sure you try and acknowledge people that come to see you because they're there to see you ultimately, right? So do that and join events, even if you don't think you're going to do well, because eventually you will get noticed. It
Mm-hmm.
it was the same advice that was kind of given to me. It join events even if you think you're not going to do well, because eventually they're going to be like, oh, who is this Ren Loves BL person? They've
Mm-hmm.
been joining a couple of events. I may want to check out their stream, and then you never know. and then you may receive your first take or two, and then
Ayo.
ever since then you can clutch your events. So, so that's what I'd recommend to do. Also, another good piece of advice is to invest in your avatar. Jessica actually mentioned that, and that's something
Mm-hmm.
I've actually taken with me, and I tell people as well. Like, it's like your outfit. People will see you on here, just like when you watch VTubers or when you watch anime, right? People
Mm.
like things that look visually appealing. So make your avatar look good. So I tell people in my avatar ratings, I'm like, you need to think of your avatar character that you'd want to watch in an anime or see in a manga. And if it's not one, it needs work.
Mm-hmm.
So invest in your avatar. Okay.
No,
For
I
sure, for
love
sure.
that advice.
Yeah.
That is probably some of the best advice that you can give someone who's just starting out in VTubing, because it's the same in face streaming. It's like
Yeah.
your parents is the first thing that people are going to see 90% of the time. Maybe they'll hear your voice somehow through an audio clip that's given to them. But for the most time, it's either going to be in your live or in video footage where they see you, and on reality, all they see is your icon. Like there is no
Mm-hmm.
recording of old video there is, because it's all live streaming, right?
Right. Right.
So your appearance really does matter, as bad as it is to say that, but people are judgmental and they, first impressions are key. So
Yeah.
Ren, is this your first reality account?
Uh, Technically, yes. Okay, so
Okay.
what happened is that so I had technically two. Okay, so when I first
Mm-mm.
downloaded Reality, because I was referred um to Reality by my sister. She was like,
Okay.
try it out, check it out, see what it's about. I didn't know how to fix an avatar or anything like that. I just hopped into a stream. I heard people
Mm-mm.
screaming, and I panicked, and I left, and I deleted the account. Um, and then the next day I chatted my sister. I was like, that was a nightmare. That was a nightmare. I was like, what did you? She was like, no. Why did you do that? You probably went into some like random stream. She was like, try and do something with the avatar. Try and dress it up and check
Mm-mm.
other people's streams out. And then literally, I'd say a day later, I created a new account. I was like, I'll try this out. I will check out a couple of streams and see what it's about. I
Mm-mm.
was like, oh, okay, so it's not that bad. It's not that bad. So realistically, this is my real account, I guess. Like the first
Yeah,
one, I
yeah,
guess,
yeah.
didn't really count because I was scared. I was scared to bits of what I heard and saw in those streams. I was like, I'm not doing that again. But here I am. Here I am a year later, a year and a month or so
Oh
later,
my
and
gosh.
we're going strong.
You are going very strong. You are growing
Yeah.
incredibly fast. Um, Speaking of growth, do you get
Mm-hmm.
overwhelmed with how fast you're growing?
I'm I'm kind of here's the thing, Corby. I'll sit there and I'll be like, okay, I'll look at numbers and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, yeah, we're at 38K, we're gonna hit 39K, but I don't think it has really processed. Sometimes it is scary to me how fast the growth has been, because a lot of my growth realistically has been since when I hit 1,000 followers in December, end of December. So I always tell
Mm-hmm.
people, I'm like, once you hit 1,000, it should propel you a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
because you're kind of on that kind of that list of right, like of certain people to follow. Like I feel like it does help. There are months, there are going to be times where it's like, okay, maybe you're not growing as fast as you think you are, but like it eventually will mellow out. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I'll look and I'm like, oh, I'm getting close to like 39K, almost 40K. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of people who've come to see me and come to follow me. But I'm taking it in. I'm actually very humbled by it because, like I said, I mean, when I first started, I'm just like, who would watch me?
Mm-hmm.
Who would
I
watch Ren
still ask
stream? And
myself that question
apparently
every
people
day.
do. Yeah, right.
I'm
Who
like,
would watch me? And
who is
apparently
watching
people
this?
do.
Well, and like I had that happen to me today. I just randomly popped into someone's stream because I wanted to like check out their content, and someone was like, oh, "You're the TikTok lady and someone else is like, no, I see your stuff on Twitter all the time. And I'm like, who's actually watching that? You guys actually watch this?
Yep. You'll get those a lot. Oh my
I
gosh.
know.
Or they're
I
like,
know.
you're the one on the ban. I'll get that all the time. You're like, you're the one on the banner, right? I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Like, which banner are we talking about?
I know. I was like, yeah, I think so. That might be me.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
maybe.
So
I've had
maybe
like
I think so. I think it's Ren loves VL.
same emojicons and everything. Um, so what advice would you give yourself starting out? Like if you could go back in the past and talk to yourself, what advice would you give?
I think I would give myself the same advice. I'd be like,
Okay.
hey, don't, don't check out, don't ever do random collabs because
Don't go in the randos.
that your anxiety yep, rando collabs, never, never. Don't do that. And I think maybe do try and I wasn't right now I'd say my highest streak would be when I actually took streaming seriously, and I think I'm close to getting close to almost 300 days. Getting close there. I forget, but I
Hey,
am getting
hey.
yeah 300 days of streaming. So I think that's when I actually took it seriously. I would just say I would say, you know what? I would tell myself, I'm like, you know what, Ren, you go out of that comfort zone because you're asking yourself now, who would watch you stream? People
Mm,
will watch you stream. Okay. Um, and invest in your avatar. You know, anytime there's a coin sale, every time there's a gotcha given to you, try and pull from it. Because it only takes one time to get a gold, you know, and build your
mm.
closet and just stay true to you. Like, do not try to be any, like, the thing is with me, I feel like authenticity means so much to me, like IRL, right? Integrity and
Mm, mm.
authenticity um, are like core values of mine IRL, and they stick with me here on this app. Um, if you could just stay true to yourself and not try to be like anyone else, people will notice that.
Mm, mm,
People will
mm.
notice that, and they will notice you. So I would say, you're just as have every right to be here, just like everybody else. So try it out. Go outside of your comfort zone. You never know. You may get close to 40,000 followers one day. One day.
You're gonna surpass that 40,000 in like less than a week.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you're just gonna go boop. Um, so
Indeed.
Ren, you've been here for a little over a year now. Have you ever taken a hiatus?
Um,
Okay.
if I did take a hiatus from streaming, I don't think I would do like a whole type of hiatus type of stream. I
Mm,
think I
mm.
would just put it in my bio
Yeah,
and
you
be
just
like,
like
Ren needs a
ghost.
mental break. Yeah. Yeah. Well, not ghost, not really. I
Not
would
like
just
not
say,
like
because I don't
not like a
want
ghost
people to,
ghost. Because I don't want them to like think I'm dead, but like, you know.
I don't want to bring that attention because it's normal, right? It's normal to go on
Mm,
a vacay. I feel like that might be needed
mm, mm.
sometime soon. So if I did, I would do it in my bio rather than have a stream about it because
Okay,
I don't want to
okay.
bring that attention because it's
Mm,
normal, right? If you take a
mm.
vacay, it's like an out of office. Like that's what I
Yeah.
would do. I'd be like, Ren's on hiatus.
Runs on
That's
vacay.
about
I'll
it. That's
see
all
you
you
all
need to
in like
know.
a week.
Right? I know, exactly. But not yet, no. But I think I might sometime soon. We'll see. I think depending on how like the holidays are, since that's fast approaching,
Mm, mm.
I may just need a little breaky break. So
Ye.
I'll consider just doing that. Mhm.
All right. Um, why do you stay here? Why do you stay on reality?
Good question. It's because I mean, since it's not something that reality pays me to do, it has
Mm,
to be fun,
mm.
right? So so I tell people, I'm like, okay, the only thing that's cute is because I am having fun.
Mm, mm.
If I ever find that I'm not having fun, I'll have to sit back and think three things. Like, do I need to rethink what I'm doing or the type of energy that I'm exuding in my streams, or what am I doing in my streams to where I'm not having fun anymore?
Mm,
B, do I need to just take a break because I feel overwhelmed with the amount of streaming that I'm doing? Or C, do I need to leave the app?
mm, mm.
Um, that is what's keeping me here. I do, and what helps too is I do get comments from a lot of people that they do say, they do look forward to my streams. That makes me feel good as a streamer. I think that's one of the best compliments that you can get is like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, they look forward to my streams, or I'm like their favorite streamer. That means a lot,
It
like
that
that.
really does.
Sometimes I don't even know what to say sometimes besides like I'm like I'm flabbergasted at times. I'm like
I
that
freeze.
thank you.
That's me. I'm like,
I freeze too.
oh,
I don't know.
I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. They didn't give us those lessons.
Saying I could, with consent, of course, I would virtual hug you right now because it
Mm-hmm,
does mean a
mm-hmm.
lot because I'm just, or, it's just a big thank you. So I'm like, I do owe it to my friends and viewers to stream. Um, but that is what keeps me here. It's because I enjoy it. And if
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
have a change of heart or anything like that eventually, then I would at least, I would owe it to them to let them know,
To
like,
let them
hey,
know.
this may not be it for me anymore. Yeah, this may not be it for me anymore. This is how you'll catch me if you want to
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
catch me on socials. I may be on a different platform, so feel free to follow at that point in time or see me then. But yeah, like on here, I'm just having fun. That's why I'm
Okay.
here.
All right. So you mentioned having fun. I do know that reality has done some conventions in Indonesia and in Japan. Would you be interested in them doing something like that in like America?
Yes. If they did a convention here in the US, since the US is one of the largest servers, I think that
Mm-hmm.
would be a way to like they could use that for like ad material as well. But if they did do it in the US, I would hope they would do it almost like they conducted like with Hololive. Like I would
Okay.
love for people to just see me and my avatar like hey on like a big projector like
Mm-hmm,
hey
mm-hmm,
I'm here, you can see me, but you may not know it's me. Like I still want to remain incognito,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
but I want the focus to still be on the avatar.
mm-hmm.
So if they did something along those lines, I think that would be. I would enjoy that. I would enjoy that for sure.
We're writing it down in my little notes. Give us, give us a con in the United States.
Give
um,
us a con for sure.
so we did just have a whole bunch of new
A big
updates.
convention center.
I know, right? And we have so many cons in America. Um, but so new updates, right? We've gotten new updates in the app just within like the last week. We've gotten reality roomed. We've got in the new UI. Have you? Obviously, you've been streaming every day, so you've been dealing with the UI. And I do know, like, reality is working on fixing it. But I also know a lot of streamers were very upset about the technology, like the technological issues they were having with the stream. Have you been having any of those?
Yeah. Yes. I have. My main thing right now, I think when it first came out, right, it was on a Monday, and it was my days that I'm like going in trying to clutch my background. So that's
Mm-hmm,
when I
mm-hmm,
was doing my avatar ratings, and it was frustrating because I couldn't the chat itself already kind of goes crazy with those sort
mm-hmm.
of streams, right? But like it kept scrolling to the top. I think that was the main thing is that
Ah, the chat
there's
bounce.
no pause button. The
Mm-hmm.
chat bounce. If there was a way to either pause like some comments or like pause the chat, I think that would be helpful. It's just that right now still, like it does do the chat bounce for me. And even if I try and put like a period in the chat, as
Mm-hmm.
most people have tried to do, so that way it can get you to the bottom of the chat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's apparently they're still working. I have noticed though, like I feel like with this new update, at least for me, like the tracking, the face tracking has been impeccable. Like I've
Yeah.
noticed like every blink, it's been beautiful. Like I like that update. I still haven't done. I haven't streamed in my room.
Okay.
Only when I had to do the missions because I'm worried the amount of pressure or like it's gonna just cause my stream to crash because I feel like it's a
Mm-hmm.
mini world, and I
It
feel like
is.
if they fix it, I think it can be a good thing. But I have not yet streamed there. I want to do like like an interview type of stream, like
Mm-hmm.
I done in the past, kind of like what you're doing here,
Yay.
like in my room to kind of keep it cozy,
Mm-hmm.
kind of
Mm-hmm.
cozy, like sit on the couches, even if they're base, even if it's base gang type of couches, like we're, I would like to have like a cozy sit down chit chat. I would love to do that, but until they figure that out and where I can actually see the chat, because my issue in the rooms is that the chat, I can't get to the bottom of it. It's like stuck
Mm-hmm.
at the top,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I can't scroll down. So that has been my main issue. Mainly
Okay.
is the UI and the liking feature too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The
So
liking
would you like
feature
your?
as well.
I want the light
Yeah.
back. I want it back. I want the button back. Okay. I'll be
The
honest.
the
I
like
want the button
button,
back.
I would like it back. Not gonna lie, I have had decent likes, but people are
Mm-hmm.
so used to the heart button. They'd like to
Mm-hmm.
see something tactile to press rather than the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Because I noticed when I'm liking on streams, like I almost accidentally followed people, and I'm like, I got,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
no,
I'm like, my
we're
follows
not
list
trying
is
to
a
do that,
very
not right now.
curated list. I don't need to accidentally follow someone because I've had it where like I followed someone and then someone like freaks out about it. I'm like, I'm not even that big, so I can't even imagine if you do it on an accident. Like,
I'm scared. Like, let alone what happened to me in one of my streams when I accidentally followed the every person in my stream, which was like 700 views. That was a mess. But oh my gosh,
no.
we don't talk about that. We don't talk about Bruno here.
Oh my goodness, Ren. Not the Bruno. Not Bruno.
Oh my gosh.
So you had mentioned that avatar appearance is definitely something worth investing in, and you are interested in eventually using rooms. Do you think you're going to invest in the assets for rooms at some point? Maybe not like right now, but if they release something that fits your aesthetic.
I would have to see what that aesthetic is. I
Okay.
really, okay, right now, no. I mean, between the two that they have right now, I'd say the Japanese one fits me
Mm-hmm.
the most because of the bonsai, and the stained glass is quite pretty, but I'm like, I'd rather invest that in my avatar first. It would have to be
Mm-hmm.
a day where I'm like, I don't like any of the scotcha this week, and I
Mm-hmm.
would prefer to pull on like the specific aesthetic. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it would have to be some sort of, I don't know. It would have to be some sort of mystical, almost witchy type of room. Like anything
Okay.
where there's
Okay.
like crystals and like something very close and near and dear to me.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to see it to be like I'm going to pull on it. But right now, no.
Okay. Okay.
It's base gang for me right now.
Do you think it would be nice if you could use your wallpaper collection inside of rooms?
It would be nice, but it would be hard to do so because when you see the layout of the room, it is very much like a room.
Mm,
Like
mm,
I don't see how the like ideally, right, we talked about there's going to be an observatory wallpaper, which is going to be
mm,
gorgeous looking, right?
mm,
But I don't see how that would fold well into the room. It's like I put a lot of time in doing the background event, so I probably
mm.
am going to be more streaming on the booth than the
Yeah,
rooms.
yeah.
um so it would be hard to pull off.
Mm, mm. No, no, I get that completely.
Mhm.
And I probably am also going to be in the booth more than into the room because I do the background events and I want to show off all of my beautiful backgrounds that I use to pair with my characters to develop more of a story, instead of just
Yeah,
have the character. And not to say like you can't have a character story with just the character itself, but if I can give them further
right.
setting, it helps develop that. Um,
Absolutely.
so, as we've talked about, you are one of the top scorers in the North American International server pretty consistently.
Am I?
Pretty
Am I?
consistently, I would say. So
Oh
Ren,
my gosh.
um, again, if you feel uncomfortable at any point in time about this question, please just skip over it. We're going to be talking about live points. So, live points are when you're able to convert your coin gifts into either coins, like back into coins, or into money. Um, which one do you prefer to use? Like, do you go coin for coin,
I
or
don't
do you touch them? Do
coins.
they just sit there?
I I transfer I actually transfer live points daily. To be
Okay.
honest, I do. I don't mess with
The
the cash
Payoneer.
feature was never really appealing to me. It
Mm-mm.
wasn't really appealing to me. I've heard it done. Some people have had success with it. I've heard now, I think with Payoneer, like if you don't make a certain amount, then you kind of have to
Mm-hmm.
owe Payoneer. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
no, I'd rather just use it on the coins if I'm pulling on Gacha or if I'm able to help out with friends in their particular event. So
Mm-hmm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
what I do. Like the live points help. I just don't expect them because some people don't
Yeah.
understand that you can only get live points off of new money, not off free coins.
Mm-hmm. The free coins don't get
You
you
know, not off
anything.
them cashing out. Exactly. So I've been asked that a couple times because some people was like, "Hey, it's been a month. I was gifted 2 cakes, but I wasn't gifted any coins." I was like, "Because they
Mm-hmm.
got it off free points."
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
you'll hear people all the time. They're like, "Hey, I'll join a coin cup to help out." I'm like, "Yeah, you can help out in their score, but it doesn't give them live points because those are free coins." Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They want you to do
Mm-hmm.
the cha-ching in order to for you to get the bling bling.
The
Okay.
bling. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
all it is. It's
exactly.
like
Well, and that's why I always advise
the
people, like,
cha-ching for the bling.
I always advise people, like, if they do buy coins and there is like a bonus, to make sure they spend the bonus on gotcha or on the avatar store, because the gotcha take the coins regardless. They don't care if they're free or if they're paid for, and then use your paid for coins for gifting, so that way the streamer does receive something back. Um,
Do they take the free points first? Like, is that how it
Yes,
works?
yes,
I
yes, yes,
think.
yes,
Do
yes,
they take the
yes. It
free
is.
points first? Okay,
Yes.
yeah,
So
okay. They
it's
take the
broken
free.
down in
Okay.
TOS. So free coins technically have an expiration date. Like technically, all coins have an expiration date, but because they're free, they expire faster. Even though like reality like doesn't actually have like an expiration date that they tell us, because it's like some super far out number that doesn't actually exist. It's just there to like
I
weigh the
think it is six
coins.
months.
It's either
I
six
think it's
months or a
6 months if I
year.
read it properly.
I think
Yeah,
like that's the
I
technical
think it is.
number, but I can't give you an exact like this is for sure the time amount.
Yeah,
Um, but it's a very like if you're using reality pretty frequently, like you're probably not gonna keep your coins for 6 months to a year, right? Like probability of you
right,
doing that very low. Um,
right.
so it so basically there's not an expiration date. But yeah, so the free coins get
Mm,
used first. I always use it as like a
okay, okay.
sinking idea. So like real gold versus fake gold, one is going to sink faster than the other.
Mm,
So your paid coins sink
yeah,
faster than your fake. I mean, they're not fake, the
I
free,
see.
but
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
okay.
example, fake gold.
The free coins, right.
It's an example. They're
Yeah.
free. They're not
So I try
fake.
and tell people that. I tell
Yeah.
people that too, so that some people are just they're like, yeah, I mean the cake is pretty, right? But me personally,
Mm-hmm.
I just sit there and I don't. Me personally, as a streamer, I don't expect live points in general. I'm like, sure, it helps me
Mm-hmm.
out of my score, great. I will check daily though if I cash in on something, great.
Mm-hmm.
But if not, I'm like, well, it is what it is. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It
Mm-hmm.
helped me in my score, but I'm not one that says, okay, they dropped me a cake. I'm expecting that to be from
Yeah.
new
I'm
money. You know
expecting
what I
this
mean?
amount of money. Yeah, no, I don't either. And honestly,
Right.
I don't even like
Yeah.
I feel weird asking people for points and like things like that. Like occasionally I'll do like a really kooky stream where like I get out of my comfort zone and I'm like, "Oh yeah, if you want me to keep doing like this content that's not like my normal content, then yeah, like send me some love. Send me like a point. Send me a star sticker so I know that you guys are actually like enjoying the new content." Um but yeah, I don't know how to ask people for like coins.
Oh, like just support in the event altogether.
Yeah.
Like there are some people I think they straight up ask for coins, but I'm just like, any and all support would be like greatly
Mm,
appreciated. This is my goal.
mm,
If you don't have it, it's all good. But
mm.
this is how far I am like from me reaching my goal. So
Reaching the
anything
goal.
helps.
Yeah,
Even if
yeah.
we Yeah, yeah, exactly. So if you have like a goal in mind, because that's the thing, it's like you can advertise. There's a difference in you advertising saying, "Hey, this is where I'm trying to go," but
Mm.
like rather than straight up saying, "All I want are cakes, cakes, cakes,
Oh
cakes,"
my
which
goodness,
is
not
not going to
cake,
get
cake,
you
cake, cake,
anywhere.
cake. That's not gonna get you cakes.
Never.
That's
That
not gonna get you gotcha. That's that's not how it works. It kind of makes me turn my nose. I'm like, oh well, I can go give it to somebody else. La 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 la
yeah,
la.
exactly. I could never like that's I could never do that, you know. So I'm just like support is what you look for. I mean, that's why you're in the event, right?
Mm,
But there's
mm,
different ways of asking and demanding.
mm.
We've all seen what demanding of gifts looks like versus like just seeking
Uh,
support to help you out,
Ren,
you know?
Ren, I get stalked sometimes into other people's streams after I do a big gifting. Or like I'll have people like slide in my messages and they're like, "Hey, I'd really like a cake." And I know that happens to
Oof.
like
You're like, that's
multiple
good.
whales.
You're just like, that's good to know.
Yeah.
You're like,
I'm
that's
like
good to know.
I'm like, "Thanks for the information." Um, but no, like that is something that quite a lot of whales do experience. People who do gift, and part of the reason why I've stopped gifting, like just in general to people I don't know, um, is because I do get creepy DMs and I do get followed into other chats and things like that. Have you ever had that happen?
Yikes. I've seen okay. I've seen people say like, I have a lot of times I don't ever expect gotcha tickets because at the end of
Mm.
the day I'm like, if I want it, I'll pull on the gotcha, right? I'll
Yeah,
invest
yeah,
in
yeah,
my
yeah.
avatar, sure. But like what I don't what I've seen a lot of though is like, like, like 30, say for example 30 gotchas, I'm dropped 30
Mm-hmm.
gotcha tickets, right,
Mm-hmm.
from the same person. They're like, oh, I wish I would get a
Right.
gotcha ticket. I'm like, like y'all can't just say like cool, like dang, like
Mm-hmm.
cool, you know what I mean? Like y'all can't just,
You can't be happy that I just got
come on, you
gifted 30
guys.
gotcha
I'm like, yeah,
tickets.
right, yeah, right. You can't, because it's not something I ever expect. I always say
Mm-hmm.
gotchas are welcome, right? Because it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I'm open to good karma, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't. I Anyone can tell you, I never sit there and
No.
just be like, gift me a gotcha ticket. Nah. If friend wants to pull on the gotcha, she gets her coin, she gets her card, okay, and she
Exactly.
will pull, okay.
We go ka-ching ka-ching, we go off to the
Yeah.
little banky bank. And we buy what we like.
But I've heard what you've mentioned as well. I've heard what you mentioned as well, though, as far as like not even that, as far as like going your DMs, but they'll like some people will make themselves seen, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
by
Mm-hmm.
you or by others, and acknowledge, like make not only drop hints, but majorly saying, "Oh, I'm gonna be in
Yeah,
an
like
event," and it would, you know what I mean, like
uh-huh.
that. You've
Uh-huh.
seen that.
Oh, I get them like
I've
weekly.
witnessed it. Should
I
I
get
say?
them weekly where it's
I've
like, "Oh, yeah, I'm going to be doing this event. Wink wink. I would really love some cakes." And I'm like, "Ha ha ha. That's nice. There's no gotcha." Um,
Yikes.
like that's part of the reason why I've been pulling so much on the gotcha recently. Is I'm just like, "Oh, la 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 la." There's no extra coins.
Because right, save it for you, because realistically, like, take care of yourself first before you
Mm-hmm.
help anyone else. That's just
Mm-hmm.
kind of how I see it, right? It's just unfortunate that people have to go that route. Like, let I don't even like the term whale in a way, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
just like, they're people. They have avatars that they take. You know what I mean? Like, they're
Mm-hmm.
streamers on this app. Do not just call them a whale. No, 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 no.
I like to be well, son.
They're more than
I
that.
I am more than well, son, but I've accepted my title.
You are a
Uh,
pink strawberry. Pink starburst, not a pink strawberry. I was like, you are a pink starburst, dang it. No matter what anyone says, you are a pink starburst.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Like I may as well own up to it. It's why
Seriously.
my fan mark is a whale with a money bag. Um, because I do think it is also a topic like people should be comfortable talking about. Like I do put money in, right? I do spend my money here, and there's a reason why I invest my money in both other streamers and in my avatars and things like that. So it's a conversation I'm very open about. having with others. Um, I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, everybody go spend money. Like, don't do that. If you can't afford to put money in, then don't. There are plenty of good assets for free.
Exactly.
And there are
It
plenty of
is a
ways to support
luxury. So
people.
people need to understand like it is a luxury. Like pulling gacha is a luxury. I tell people,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, if you don't have the budget for it, like don't go broke as a result, okay? Like
Mm-hmm.
some people budget for it, you know, like myself, because I'm just like, hey, there's stuff I may want to pull from, you know, and I'll budget for it. But do not go broke as a result because there's other things you can do. All right.
Mm-hmm.
In the
Mm-hmm.
meantime, it's
All right.
okay. You don't have
All
to
right,
pull every
Ren.
week.
You or every day. You
Yes,
don't
I
need
do.
to be a daily polar. You don't need to see Bear Bear
Yeah,
every
for sure.
day, 30 times. So Ren, do you have any advice? Well, not advice. Any last words? Anything you'd like to say to the people watching?
Um, I would just like to say, like, to anyone that has watched any of my streams, has come to support, or like, um, who anyone that I would call my friend, I would say I really do appreciate you. It really does mean a lot to me when I do stream and I see the same people that come to see me. Like, the comments that I'll get, are very heartwarming. Like, oh my gosh, I've waited for you all day to stream. Or they're like, hey, I don't even want to sleep because I
Oh.
know you. Like, that means a lot to me. It really does. It really does make streaming worth it. And I tell people this all the time. It really does. So, I would just say thank you because without the support, I wouldn't be here. Okay.
Mm-mm.
So that's what I came to say. Mhm.
That is so kind and so warm, and yes, it really is. At the end of the day, it is the viewers that keep us here, right? And the friends that we make
It
along the
is
way.
for sure.
All right, so Ren, I will let you
Absolutely.
go so we both can get some sleep.
Thank you, my dear.
Of
Thank you for
course.
your time. I really do appreciate it.
All right, Bye bye.